I am going to show you how I recolor items in Sims 4, specifically putting photos in a photo frame. They're either screenshots or pose, but having them throughout the house make it feel so homey. When I first started figuring out how to do this, I had to search high and low and couldn't find out how to get this item done because it was so fragmented. And I had to learn something from one person and then watch some videos and learn something from another. CC creators work very hard to create these items for us to use in our games. I never recolor anyone else's item and try to put them off as my own. They are strictly for my Sims homes and for my game only. Please keep that in mind because making CC is very time consuming and you'll see that during this process, and they're doing it for the love of the game and for the community. When I start to do a recolor, there are 3 windows that I have open because I will be going between them until I finish the project. First is Sims 4 Studio. Second is File Explorer in the directory that I'm saving my projects. And the last one is Photoshop Elements. I'm not saying that you need to go and buy Photoshop to be able to do the recolor. The general process will work with any photo editing software you use. It's just what I used may have different terminology. Now that you have all 3 windows open, in the photo editing software, you will have the photo or photos you plan to put in the frames. In Sims 4 Studio, you will click on Object. When it opens, you will see all of the items in the game. All of these items can be recolored. I've input the frames that I've found through Sims Resource or other ways, Tumblr and things like that. I've input them within Sims 4 Studio and they're always at the bottom. So I scroll down to the bottom to find the frame that I plan to use. Now is the time to decide how you'll name the items because during this process you will have to save 3 different times. One for the project to go in the game, one for the file you are exporting, and one for the file that you will import. When you click on the item you will recolor, you will have a window open and you will name the package file. Since you deal with CC, you know that items that are put in the game in your mods folder have the extension of .pakage. This is the file that you are going to put into your game. The project is open. Here is your opportunity to name it, and this is how it will appear in the game. I name it something that will be easy for me to search for because I will sometimes forget. When I'm putting photos in the frame, I usually name it the name of the machinima of the characters that I'm working on or something like that. Again, this is where you figure out what works best for you. When you have a lot of CC in your game, you want to be able to find it easily because it can get lost with everything else. You can write a description. In here you can even change the price. One other thing that I do here is to make the cost low since the game puts the items in order by price and not alphabetically. That way all of the CC I create is usually among the first and not really hard to find. Click on texture. This will allow you to see the swatch. When you're in the game, you know that there are different colors there. Here you can change the color. This is the color that you'll see when you're choosing that CC item in the game. The thumbnail is a photo of what you will use for the item you're creating. Then the item itself. You can see in the blue area that the item looks like what it will look like in the game. But to the right, you see the item that you'll be working with. First, you want to export the item because that's what you're going to take to the photo editing software to alter. When you click export, you'll be prompted to name it. This is what you will be inputting back in the Sims 4 Studio when you finish. It has to be a PNG file. .png. Now you will need to open this file you just saved in your photo editing software. Whenever working with CC, you need to pay close attention to the area that you will be changing in order for it to appear correctly in the item, in this case the picture frame. You see where the photo should go. Here, what I will do may differ from what you do in your photo editing software if you're not using Photoshop Elements. But what you want to do is to take your photo and put it in the file that you just exported, then manipulate it to fill in the area on the item. If you are using Photoshop Elements, you will select the item, then copy, go back to the game, and paste. Usually the item will be too large, so you will need to resize it until it fits in the area to show inside the frame. Once it is where it should be, you will need to save or save as the item that you just revised. Now go back into Sims 4 Studio. You go to import, and now you will pull the item you just worked with into your project. Here you'll see where what your project looks like in the frame. Sometimes you may have to manipulate it a little bit as you learn the process, but it's just a process of saving and resaving until you get it to work. If you want to do another photo in the same frame or more than one, follow the same steps, and you would just add the swatch and then change the color, add the thumbnail, and bring that new project into the frame. So you can see how easily you can make photos and use that same project instead of making individuals and filling up your CC folder. When I need to add photos, I just open up this project and add swatches to that frame instead of creating more files. Now that you are finished, you will click Save. You'll receive a box that says it has been saved. Now this particular package file you will put in your mods folder in the game. You'll be able to see the project in your CC when you open it up. On a side note, if by chance you are doing this while you have the game open, you will be able to drop it into your folder, your mods folder, but you will not be able to see this CC until you go out and reopen your game. I am working on a video to recolor shower curtains. I am a total builder, so I'm always trying to find some different items to help clutter the house, to help personalize it. So look for that coming up. I must stress again about recoloring other CC creators' work and putting it off as your own. It shouldn't be done. I use these items in my game only, and this is just showing you how you can do the same. I hope you like this video. It is my first stab at tutorials, and all of these steps are how I do it. I'm sure there are ways that others can do it, and as you start the process, you will be able to come up with shortcuts and maybe even better my process. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you're watching this. Be safe out there, and bye for now.